Undead dust.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dungeoneers of Depravity. I am Jason Klein, your resident DM, and finally, I'm not looking as barren-faced and everything, and it will slowly grow back in, and I can stop terrifying my players. And speaking of players, allow them to introduce themselves. Say hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
God damn, it's like A&A all over again.
every single time. Now, Eric the
Never gets
Fantastic
old.
here with his lovely wife, the Danis.
The Danis.
I'm
Or have to say
DJ
what you hear.
in Japan.
Yeah, I noticed you had to rub that in every time, dick.
Every
Sounds
time.
like a song
Dude, I
title.
want some ramen.
DJ in
tomorrow.
Japan. That's what you are.
You could go see your
It's gonna
sister.
be a
who lives in
long 3 years.
And I'm Aaron. I'm also about to reset my computer.
Oh, God, here we go. It's already begun. And speaking of beginnings, so last we left our party, they had finished at the manor, and after dealing with a very, very scary and surprisingly pleasant giant glowing deity woman who saved them and then proceeded to give them more questions to have them try to figure out, they were directed to return back to town where they were encountering a very angry at the time redhead. Well, went from kind of irritated to very angry individual who proceeded to break a very aggressive male's collarbone and with the assistance of Fweck ended a bar fight before it became a brawl. And yes, we had two of my party members disappeared for a second there. And afterwards,
The two that matter are still here.
I'll be.
oh my God, I can see a DJ. It's been so long.
He's beautiful.
Remember, DJ, bring the banana to you. Never go to the banana. Oh, God damn it.
Bring the banana
Well
to
done,
your
sir.
face.
That being said,
That was actually-
the same redhead, after coming to her assistance, actually now has become a part of the party, which until someone comes up with a better title, I'm going to call the Fantabulous Four at this point. So after introducing themselves to the new member, who is known as Rose, they went ahead and brought her aboard the Aetherhammer, where they also, thanks to Dargo, hired 3 new party members to assist them on their air journeys. And after very little discussion, decided that their next course of action was to head off to the main empire of the continent, which, if I remember correctly, is named Castellione. And since then, they're flying, and we're going to hopefully have some hijinks on the way there. It just depends on how you guys roll. I cannot wait, honestly.
Yeah, because we're really good at rolling above a 4. Oh, wait,
Oh,
no,
oh,
we're
yeah.
fucking not.
Only when it doesn't matter.
Yes,
that's true.
when you guys are doing some stupid bullshit, you guys pull like the most amazing, crazy rolls, and then I have to scratch my head and go, okay, I have to reward them somehow because they just got like 3 20s in a row. So something cool has happened.
So like usually it's something like, hey, I rolled a 96 Arcana to figure out if this thing's magical, and you're like, yeah, it's not, and that's it. That's the good roll.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, roll at least a 5 dex save to see if you dodge the meteor. I rolled a 3.
You headbutt it.
Yeah, you headbutted the meteor.
It didn't end well. In
No.
fact, your face is still impacted on the meteor. And what I mean by that, I don't mean an imprint. I mean your face went with it.
That means that all we have to do is headbutt the meteor
Every time.
Now-
That's the answer, is just headbutt the meteor, you'll be good.
Now Flex on trial for assaulting a meteor.
I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing he's... Well, no, it would be honestly the worst thing he's done. Now, if it was Palasyr, I'd say it was the worst thing he's ever done. But...
Yeah.
Anyways, you guys are on the very first day of being on the airship, and it's wonderful. The clouds are fluffy. I actually did do a weather check, and the skies are clear, so there's no battling that. And yeah, After a night of more PTSD-inducing moments for Palasyr, and
I don't know what you're talking about. I have a
pretty
nice-
relaxing, kind of eye-opening event for our resident DJ. I'm still tripping over the fact I can actually see your beautiful chocolatey face now. It's actually making me so happy right now. But I can't see Fweck, and that's okay. We've seen a lot of Fweck lately.
No, we need Fleck.
Give me a minute.
Fweck! So, that being said, it's a sunny, wonderful, warm day, and because of that, I'm going to have who wants to make the first roll?
Me.
No.
Oh,
I want to
okay.
start us off horribly.
No.
I'm so ready.
And the reason I say that is this is a survival or I'll make it a survival roll for this one.
I'm
Wait,
doing this.
hold on. Do
Who
you
wants
have
to
bonuses
do
in
it?
survival?
You do actually have advantage on all of these rolls, by the way, because you got the
Not-
cartographer.
If there's anything I've learned from my previous roles, it's that advantage
Oh
is
no,
not
no, wait.
helpful.
Let me do it.
Danny, everybody's
Who's
gonna have
gonna
to roll.
go?
Well,
Who's
this
This is
gonna
rolling
go?
first.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, sweet.
Yes. I rolled
Alrighty.
Told you my advantage wouldn't help.
Way to go, Aaron. Saving the day.
So,
Goddamn, dude. Yep,
since Eric decided to roll first, let's go.
God damn it.
No, but Eric, you did roll. So when it's your turn, I am going to use that survival score. So you're going to have a bad day probably. But it's bound to happen. You just have a preview of. I'll allow you to go last out of everyone, so there's a chance that it's not going to go completely horrible. But yes, Fweck, you decide to hang out with Phileas, your female Asimir cartographer, and she actually was explaining, and because of your exploration and everything, you actually... let's go with 3 days. You have been exploring, and based on that too, I'm going to say, Fweck, you... Let me see something real quick.
You know what's great about fruit?
Oh,
I don't
Fleck.
know that a tomato is a fruit, but I know that you shouldn't put it in a fruit salad.
Fweck, I want you to roll a perception roll for me real quick.
Reset.
Ooh. All right, so I'm going to have this as the first little experience of this, which could turn long, it could go short. We're going to find out. Fweck, as you're using a spy glass that the cartographer gave you, you see there is a, down on the horizon, you see going, and you are in kind of a
What are your big
developed
ass
plain
elf
area.
eyes see?
Your big ass elf eyes actually see a nomadic tribe of wood giants.
What?
They're all dead.
No, they're not. It's not battle. This is just it's just a tribe of them. You recognize them. You recognize that this is it would be one of the ones that's not your tribe, but it is one of the ones that you're at peace with. So this is where I'm going to give you some options here. Do you want to just float
I'll be
on
low
by?
enough to the ground where I can jump off the ship and survive.
You're going to, it's...
No, never.
Wait, what?
If you do that, they're going to keep on flying because, remember, Dargo's below decks to steer this thing. Like, it's by camera, essentially. he has a viewport where he can see the back of the ship, the front, and the sides. Like, there's 4 screens, and he can look at them.
You just
He
see
does.
his flex ass go by one of the cameras. Just
So what do you guys do?
Man,
I mean, you just saw like you haven't seen any wood giants in a while. It's been a hot minute since you've seen one of your people. So what are you gonna do, Fleck?
Man, no.
and they looking fine.
I mean, some of them might.
Tall snacks.
Big old tig old biddies.
Death by snoo, except for Fleck.
What are we doing?
What are we doing, Fleck? What are you
If
thinking?
you wait too long, the ship will pass by them.
And no one will ever know except for the Fleckster.
Can I yell at Dargo to stop the ship?
You can actually, and remember, you don't have to yell it. You do have the earpiece, or you can just scream it.
Well, he's gonna scream it.
And
He
with
would be
that,
yelling.
Dargo just what? Why? Get what? What is it, Fleck? I know it's you. I can tell it's your voice. What do you want?
I need you to stop the ship.
Why?
I see my people.
And your point is,
I thought I was the only one alive.
I mean, while you're a rarity, I would. There's a heavy sigh, and then the comm goes silent, and the ship begins to slow down, and it begins lowering towards the ground. By the way, did you do this just as a check to Dargo, or did you put to everybody?
I mean, I yelled, so...
It depends where everybody is. I don't know where you guys are on the ship. This is the second out of 3 days.
I don't even know where I am on the ship.
Oh god, bring me back.
So Palasyr, at the very least, is going to notice that the ship is slowing down and going down. And he's just going to be like, what? There's no way we've already arrived.
Yeah, Rose is running to the top of the ship, to the deck, and just yelling, "It's party time!"
Oh,
He's
Okay.
going to stand on the front of the ship and just, yeah!
I'm assuming I was up top since I was in spyglass, so...
Yeah, no, you were definitely... Actually, that's a good question. I know, Fleck, you would be up top because that's the only way you're going to see them unless you happen to be in the control room with Dargo, which, I mean, at that point, you would have just been screaming at Dargo, and I think he would have been a little angry. Where's everybody else at? I believe from what you were describing, Palasyr and Rose, you were both below deck, correct?
Yep, I am
I'm
going to
resting,
Dargo.
or I'm sitting on one of the cannons.
Okay, so you're up top then, because the cannons are
Fucking
regulated
Luffy
to...
style.
Oh, I see
Yeah.
you now.
Riding
Okay,
that
I-
cannon.
Sitting on a cannon.
so I would say... All right, Fleck, did you do this over the comm to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. So based on that, Null, you definitely see, because I'm imagining, Fleck, you're probably like jumping up and down and pointing, but like, just freaking the fuck out, right?
Rocking the ship, just boom. Oh god, we get it.
No,
We
like,
get it.
Fleck's big, but this ship is significantly
Not that.
larger than, yeah, he ain't that big, and this is this is a battle vessel. This was meant to be a battle vessel.
This is meant to take rocking.
Yeah. This is meant to hold, based on the number of beds and everything, this was meant to have not an army, but a small battalion of people. Like, this was supposed to actually have a group that could, drop out of the ship to assault.
A small giant.
So,
Now
yeah.
that's us.
So, yes. Null, from your viewpoint, you see Fleck looking through a spyglass, and then you hear him in your ear telling Dargo to stop the ship, and he's very excited. And you definitely, unless you've got a spyglass, have no idea what he's talking about, really, aside from what he uttered.
Yeah. Okay.
So Palasyr is going to go track down Dargo and figure out why the hell we're stopping early.
All right. Well, walking in, you see Dargo at the controls, and he's talking. As you walk in, you hear him talking to the AI. Yes, go ahead and initiate landing procedures. We'll be there soon. How long? And the AI's, yes, sir, will be arriving in the next 10 minutes. After that, I will make process. Do you want us? He goes, go ahead and scout the area with the drones as well. And he sees you. He looks up. He goes, oh, how can I help you, Palasyr?
I overheard something.
Our
Fleck
excited giant friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Screaming.
he's seen some of his people. I don't know if it's the same tribe he's associated with, but he's very excited. And I mean, I would imagine I haven't seen any half orcs like myself, so I do understand it. I just think we've got places we could better be going. But I'm just kind of I'm just along for the ride.
The world can wait.
Well, it seems like an unnecessary risk considering we're actually landing and getting out. We don't know if this tribe is hostile. You know, if we stopped every time we saw a half elf, we'd be stopping every 20 minutes probably.
At the mention of the hostile
Half-elf
part,
fruition.
at the mention of the whole aggressive nature, he smiles and looks at Palasyr. He goes, no. Wood giants, they are very fierce in battle, but for the most part, they're fairly peaceful nomads. As long as you're not actively trying to poach in their land or trying to do them harm, they'll pretty much they're willing to trade with you. But outside of that, they're pretty much want to be left alone. If you make no notice, they really just won't bother you. So I have no problem with this. If I thought there was actual danger involved with this, I would have argued with him.
Good to know. Glad to know you've got a good head on your shoulders at least. Well, let's go try and make the best of this situation, I suppose.
He waves at you and goes, okay, if you need an extra translator, if they only speak giant, I know there are a large grouping of them that know common, but if you need an extra translator aside from Fleck, I'm more than happy to come along with.
Couldn't hurt.
All right, I'll keep that in mind, and I'll finish up getting the vehicle ready for landing. And he goes back to the controls.
All right, Palasyr's going to start making his way onto the upper deck to see what everybody else is doing, I suppose.
All righty.
I'm running up to Fleck. Like, we're going to party, right?
Are we low enough to where I will take less than 25 points of fall damage?
You can go ahead and you can jump off the ship if you'd like, but I'm going to warn you it's probably not going to go well for you.
I'm excited, but I'm not super excited.
Like, I imagine Fleck's not the brightest bull, but I don't think he's stupid enough to jump off of an airborne ship.
I have slow fall, like I said, 25 points.
Yeah.
This is the math.
Okay, you know what? You do what you want, buddy. I'm just here to help direct and tell you when you fuck up. That's the entirety of what I'm here for.
Before we completely disembark,
Yes.
I would like to see what the cook has made.
Okay, you go down, and as you find him, he has set up his own little cooking area here in the third area, mostly because it had all the supplies and he had his own cookware. Mm-hmm. And a very, very excited small male gnome looks up and he goes, "Oh, hey, how can I help you today?"
Just want to see how you're doing down here in the cargo hold. I see you made your little food area.
Yes. I've got the stew from last night that I've got set up in the cooler. I've also got some potatoes and some tomatoes stewing as well right now. If you'd like, I can make you something quick and easy, like some eggs and ham, or I planned on making some biscuits for later.
Get something easy, like some eggs and ham.
Yeah, not a problem, sir. And he starts whipping up some eggs, and he gets the fire in the stove started up a little faster. You notice when he does, he actually he uses prestidigitation. You would recognize this to light the fire up, and he starts stirring the coals up faster.
Huh. Neat trick.
So yeah, he makes you some quick seasoned eggs, and yeah, you have a meal of eggs in front of you.
How do I like it?
You got well since you didn't.
I love it.
How do I like it? Oh, I love it.
Well, he made some just standard scrambled eggs, salt, pepper, no cheese.
Nope, it's the best. It's the best damn eggs and ham I have ever
10
had.
stars, man.
10 out of 10.
He takes the handkerchief he's had wrapped around his head and he pulls it a little lower and tips his head and goes, "Thank you." And he goes back to cleaning up the kitchen and
Well,
going about business.
Dog shit.
Goddamn.
All right. And with that, you guys have officially landed. And let me go ahead here and see where I want to put you all. No, not there, because that doesn't make sense.
You guys got to try that green eggs and ham.
Try that green eggs and ham. Go ahead and try that green eggs and ham. Yeah, we'll go ahead and put you all here because they would have themselves a little garden area and they'd have the buildings they set up. So, well, if the mouse wants to work, which you guys are going
so much trouble with that.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this thing. You guys are going to get traded around a little bit because they don't make it very user-friendly as far as there. There we go.
Hey.
Yay! You guys find yourselves here. Big old field, couple of to you guys they look like pretty well-to-do houses, but looking at the corners you notice there are a series of buckles and clasps, and they kind of everything is just held together by these at the corners, and there's about 5 on each one, and they're big. These are meant for giants. So each of these buildings is probably about 25 feet tall, depending on it. So yeah, you guys land successfully, and yeah, what are you guys doing? You don't see much activity aside from a couple of them who have started to crowd a little bit to see this airship that's wandering up.
So Palasyr's going to look around for anything potentially advantageous to us that he can barter, steal, or whatever.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, boy.
I don't have to steal something. Just if there's only one way to get it.
I mean, you're the one who keeps saying all this stuff. I'm just... Let's see, what do I want to use?
So, Fweck, is this the area you've seen the,
Yeah, I'm doing... I'm trying to add... I had a spell on here, and for whatever reason, it decided to just fucking not add to...
Not spell?
Yeah, it's just gonna not spell.
Unbelievable.
It's gonna not spell. Okay, so we've got one giant here. I think I made that one a little bigger than I meant to. But, I mean, they're giant, so it's fine, I guess.
Land of the Gaints.
Land of the Gains?
The Gaints.
Oh, okay.
Land of Gain.
All right, well, standing as you guys get closer, 3 approach you. One is a female in just standard clothes, cloth clothing. There's a couple of ornamental, like skulls and teeth hanging from a very decorative necklace around her neck. She has long brown hair, same greenish tint skin that Fleck has. A bit of larger male is to the left of her, to her left. And he is wearing kind of cobbled together leathers, and he has a long curved sword across his back. And he's got a couple, I mean, to you guys, they look like swords because they're, a giant sized dagger. And then finally the other one, he's looking a little bit more rough and tumble, sturdy. He has a circlet around his brow. He has an eye patch, and you see this long, jagged scar running from his face down his neck, and it disappears under this assortment of small metal plates and bits of armor that have been kind of requisitioned together with leather into like this, almost like a impromptu half plate he's carrying around. He has a large shield on his back, and he has a heavy maul to his left side. And they all start casually walking up to you all.
Well, Palasyr is going to definitely stand back and let Fweck do whatever the hell he needs to do here.
All right, Fweck.
I'm going to say hello. giant.
Oh,
they speak.
the one at the front who's more heavily armored, he kind of raises his eyebrows a little bit, looking at you, and because you see him as you say that, he raises his eyebrows because he looks behind you at your other assorted party members by the ship, and he punches his chest and goes, "My name is Ulthgur in giant back to you. Hail ye, brother."
My name is... Fuck, I forgot my name.
How did you forget your name? It's on the screen!
My name! What's his name?
What's your name?
Why didn't you fucking say so?
Fleck has started a war with the other wood giants.
Immediately, you are overran with giants. Children's, women, people in full armor, dogs the size of giants. It's horrifying. No.
All right, we are going to take off. You guys have...
So, yeah, you guys see Fleck and what you're assuming is the leader of the giants are conversing back and forth. But do any of you speak giant?
No.
Then you are lost as far as what's going on. Fleck, you've done introductions. What now, buddy?
I don't know. I guess I'm gonna strike. I didn't think I'd get this far, honestly. But I guess, strike up a conversation and see if I can kind of determine, like, where their tribe originated from.
Okay.
Like, as you know, found on the steps of a monastery, abandoned by himself. Very lonely.
So sad. I feel almost bad for you if I didn't know how much of a dick you were in real life. So anyways, the one who identified himself as Ulthgur, he goes ahead and he gestures to the woman. He goes, "This is Muriel. She is my wife, and she is the leader of our tribe. And this is Hrograth. He is my second in command. Are you? I notice you're in one of those warships. Is there something wrong? What is your intention with my people?"
Battle.
Damn it, Jack! Get the hell out of here, man! You're gonna knock all my cords over. Sorry, dog's being retarded. Shit. Damn you! Just lost my train of thought. Oh, no, it's not anything. I saw you from afar, and I have not known much about my people from the moment that I've known I was my people, and I would like to learn more.
He scratches his chin and goes, "Well, I mean, I can tell you're not one of our tribesmen. You look like one of our brothers more from the northern bound area of the land. We don't bear any ill will towards them. We've always been on good terms with their ilk. I don't know much else to speak of them aside from they're from the deep woods. They're more about the ways of sticking to the natural elements than we are. We, as you notice," and he points to the buildings and the farmland and everything. He goes, We still travel, but we're mostly we try to stick more to the cities because we find it makes our lives a little easier.
I can dig it.
Ever been kicked out of a bar?
Ever been kicked out of a bar on the same day? Out of multiple bars on the same day?
He goes, we weren't really expecting anyone from the cities, but I mean, if you'd like, our hearth is warm, and we can always offer some food to some wary travelers if you need it.
Cool. You got me all interested, and they're not even, like, interesting.
They're just some dudes, man.
You're also not asking any questions. You're just doing an introduction.
I don't know.
Is Dargo up here?
Dargo is hanging out on the edge of the ship looking down at everybody.
Can I tell if he can hear what they're saying from where he's at?
Oh, they're not quiet. They're not quiet at all. They're very loud.
I'm gonna yell up to Dargo. Just what are they saying?
They're saying stuff. Mind your business.
It is completely my business. He could be starting a fight. He does that.
I would warn you if there was. Until then, shut up. You're going to make it worse like you always do.
Thank you, sweetie.
Don't touch anything.
Dargo gives you a thumbs up.
Ethereal or otherwise.
Rose is gonna yell down to Fleck. Is anybody in need of a healer?
I'll ask them. I'll relay that in giant.
Ulthgur, he looks up at you and goes, "Well, I mean, we're not going to turn one down, small one. We do have a few of our own have gotten sick from a disease of late that we've been trying to figure out."
Vampire giants.
Let's save the giants. That's
terrifying.
That is actually lycanthropy, and we have werewolf giants.
Isn't it just
That's even more terrifying.
About to say, in the case of them, they kind of treat you like a juice pouch. They just pull your head off and then squeeze out your...
Like a fucking Capri Sun?
Yes. Normal-sized people are Capri Suns for vampire giants, y'all.
That's not good. They fuck up the straw like 6 times. Like, stop!
Except it's like a hollow spear, just I
can never get this part.
These things are so hard to puncture.
I put it all the way through. Damn it!
All right, so what is going on aside from imagining giants turning people into Capri Suns?
I'm gonna ask them more about the disease that is plaguing their people. They my people.
They speak English.
Did they speak common to Rose?
That's why she responded, or he responded to her.
I was just making sure.
Otherwise, she wouldn't have a clue what he said. So.
Well, Rose is going to scramble down the ship to get next to Fweck.
All right. Scramble on down then.
All right. Yeah, I can help in any way I can.
Yeah, let's get more. What are the, symptoms that plague you and your tribe? I say to Ulthgur.
Ulthgur goes ahead and he goes, Muriel can fill you in more. If you would like to, you can follow her to our main cabin and we can explain the troubles that have been happening.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the little cabin is here. So I will have Muriel wander over to.
Muriel. I'm only
Muriel.
Muriel.
More cheese. More macaroni.
Get macaronis.
I'd have punched that little girl.
I'd have kicked the shit.
I would have punched her.
So, as you guys walk in, the first thing you notice is that this is much more expansive than they let on. When you walk in, this to the rest of you, aside from Fleck, this looks like a feast hall. It's very, very large. Like you would imagine, based off the fact there's one very large table running through the entire thing. And since it's made for giants, this makes even a lot of taverns you guys frequent feel almost small. It's massive.
Fleck feels happy because he finally fits.
Yes, Fleck, everything is giant size for you. It is the proper size as you view it. Meanwhile, for anybody, I like the idea of Palasyr trying to get in one of these chairs because it's like his height. Almost.
Oh, God.
Have to climb.
I'm picturing Palasyr trying to drink an ale here or something like that and just...
The cup essentially... Yeah, it's not like comically large to you, but a cup for Palasyr, since this is made for something that would fit in Fleck's hand, it's going to be almost the size of your chest. Like a normal cup, you have to remember, in size comparison, it's going to be from your neck down to maybe the bottom of your rib cage. Like it has to fit. And there's everything is giant sized. Muriel, she walks in, she goes, we actually do have a section for when we have visitors that aren't our size. And she points to the corner over by the right side of the fireplace. And there is two normal sized tables with
It's a children's table.
Yes.
That's what it is.
She actually does chuckle, and she goes, it is for some of the children that come here.
Thank you.
It's the little people's table.
So
I didn't even ask, what's the name of their tribe? I'm going to ask them. I'm going to ask Muriel what the name of their tribe is.
They are called
the Tribe of Muriel.
Yes, they are known as the Tribe of Muriel. No, they are actually known as they are the Stonefoot tribe, is what they are.
And Muriel's last name is Stonefoot.
No, it's Hamish.
Damn it.
Hey, I'm convinced Muriel runs shit around here, okay?
She most likely does. She certainly does, in fact. So, anyways, going back to Rose.
Yeah. So Rose is going to climb up on one of those big chairs because it sounds cool.
I want you to make a climb check.
Okay.
Athletics, I would assume? No,
yes.
Roll it.
Oh, yeah.
Click the little newspaper.
Give me an athletics check.
Click your dude.
Dude-ette.
Don't roll it with advantage, so turn off advantage.
Okay.
Go down to athletics.
It's a learning curve, everybody.
Da-da-da.
Please get a 1. Please get a 1. Okay. You scramble up, but it's not graceful at all. You get almost fully on, and then your foot slips, and you catch yourself as you're about to and you shimmy up the rest of the way. And how are you standing on the chair? Are you sitting on the chair? How are you? I'm just trying to get a picture of this real quick.
Oh, definitely standing and have my hands on the table, and I'm giggling because I think the whole thing's funny.
Okay, well, to be polite, Muriel actually does sit down at the table, and she puts both hands on the table, and she doesn't lean, she just looks down at you. And as she does, you see her from the little smile she took at seeing you climb up and everything. You saw she kind of tried to stifle a chuckle a little bit because she's trying to be polite. She looks down, she gets a much more serious expression. She goes, it started about probably 2 weeks ago. Pox came to our people. They began to have coughing fits, which we didn't think much of, but some of them, the tips of their toes and their fingertips began to turn black, and some of them developed this rash that starts at the neck and it's worked its way down to their chest. No one has died, but a few of our people have become bedridden, and we've had healers, but no one's been able to figure out what the cause is so far.
Okay.
Can I roll history to see if I've heard of this? Or
yes, you can. You can go ahead.
Okay.
Ooh. Nice. You would recognize that this, based on a history check... Oh, okay. Someone stepped on our mouse. Anywho, you would recognize that this is not something local. You go through your history and you have not actually heard of this anywhere. So this is new to you. You would know enough about what's going on to know that this is something that's not common.
Okay. I'm going to relay that information to Rose. I'm like, I know a decent amount about disease, and I have never heard of these symptoms before, and I know it's not something that happens regularly in the local area.
The toes, have they fallen off?
No, but they have lost feeling in their feet, which is for the most reason why they've become bedridden, is they're having difficulty walking and keeping their balance.
Within the 2 weeks before symptoms showed up, did you have any visitors, or did you go anywhere? Any of your people?
She scratches her chin and she puts her head to her temple. She goes, we had not per se a visitor, but we did have somebody who was. He came around, but he didn't really approach us, so we didn't think much of it. It was him and another. There was another fellow with him.
Can you describe them?
One looked like he may have been elvish, and the other one kept a cloak over him, so we couldn't really get his features. He was a little bit stockier from his build, though, it looked like.
But you had no interaction with them.
No, they never approached us. They stood from... We just thought they were travelers who may have been interested, because, giants we're not that common around these parts.
I see. Well, maybe I should see your ill then and see what I can do. I suggest that not everyone go with me.
Oh, I'm going with you. This is very interesting.
Wow.
Palasyr is very obviously interested in the intellectual knowledge gaining part of this,
Okay.
and not in helping the giants necessarily.
All right.
Well, then I suggest that you cover your face.
All righty. Well, on that note, Muriel gets up and she walks around the table much faster than you thought for someone her size, and she offers a hand to you, Rose, and said, "Would you like some help down?"
Yes, please.
And she takes both your hands and she kind of lifts you a little bit and lowers you to the ground. She just chuckles.
And Rose is giggling and bouncing on the balls of her feet.
She lightly taps you on the head and goes, "You remind me of my daughter," and walks out of the room.
Palasyr's like, "Is your daughter 4 years old?" Just continues walking.
Yes.
She does not hear you. So you all walk, and she takes you actually more towards the back of the village. There are 2 huts that are off to the side by themselves. And as you guys walk in, you notice it's very dark in the first one. And there are 2 giants. One is much smaller than the other, so you would say, based on the general size you've seen of the giants, they're both probably a little bit younger. One is a great deal younger, based on the fact that she is probably about the same size as one of you 3, either Rose or Palasyr or Null. Yeah, you walk in the room, you see they're both lying in bed, and they're the larger of the 2 is asleep. The other one is just kind of rolled on her side and looking at the door, and she's got the blanket pulled up, and you can just see a nose and then 2 eyes looking at you.
So Rose is going to go to the youngest,
Mm-hmm.
and she's going to introduce herself. She goes, "Hi, I'm Rose, and I'm here to help. Can you tell me how you feel?"
And the one in the bed looks at her and kind of tilts her head, and a very kind of gravelly voice, just, sorry, common speak is, and you see her squint, and you can see she's searching for the word.
Sandwich.
And Muriel goes over and sits down at the edge of the bed and starts petting, you're assuming is some form of family, the hair back from the face, goes shh, and starts speaking in giant back to her. And she looks back at you and Rose and goes, I've told her that you're here to help her. And at that point, she goes over and kind of sweeps up a stool and sets it beside the bed.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to kind of check over her. I'm just going to tell Miriam, just let her know I'm going to be touching her to see how she is. I'm first going to check her feet.
You pull the blanket back and you see that the toes are completely black. There's no strong smell or anything. It's just the standard smell you've become accustomed to. I like this. All right.
I was just about
we'll get to that. Rose, you notice that from the toes there are black lines going up her feet, except they're not in the shapes of her veins. They actually trace in these swirling kind of almost like snake-like patterns up the legs. But they stop about midway up the calf. They don't go any higher, and they're not pulsing with her blood or anything. It's just strange little patterns.
Are there any wounds that I can see?
No, there's no marks. There's nothing there. You do feel that when you feel her feet, the feet feel cold. But as you get closer to her head, it's not quite a fever, but you do feel that she feels warmer as you get to her head and her hands. They do feel noticeably warmer than the rest of her.
Okay. Trying to see what. So
this would, depending on what it is, the spells you're going to want to look at are that one. So that one, because that one is a cure disease, that's probably your best bet.
Mm-hmm.
And then this would be the other one you want to look at, depending on what this is.
Okay.
You're going to have to try and figure out what the hell it is first, though. Huh? I'm already doing that.
Oh, okay.
Palasyr, you see that from where the lines going up the young giant's legs, they are slightly glowing from your eldritch sight.
Palasyr is now extremely intrigued. Can I roll Arcana to figure out what the fuck this is?
You may.
Actually, I think Detect Magic should give me that information anyway. It should give me the type of
you
magic.
would recognize that it is an abjuration school of magic.
Oh, good. Palasyr is going to turn to you and just say, it's not a disease.
What is it?
It's magically based. Someone is inflicting these people with whatever that is. I'm going to roll Arcana to see how much information I can get just based on my magic knowledge.
Ooh, you're having a great time. You recognize it's abjuration magic.
Palasyr is going to let you know that it's abjuration magic.
Okay.
So here, I'll look up the actual explanation. I don't have to describe it.
So, yeah, that's what you find about the giant girl in front of you.
I'm going to attempt to use remove curse on her.
Go ahead and roll for it.
How does that? What do you mean?
I think it's.
Yeah, it's not a roll.
Hmm.
It's a second or a third level spell.
What does it do then?
Says, all curses affecting one creature or object end. If the object is a cursed magic item, its curse remains, but the spell breaks its owner's attunement to the object, so it can be removed or discarded.
That would be great, except this is not a curse.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Good thought, though. It was a good thought. I like the idea of the route you were going.
So yeah, we'll have to deduct a spell slot for that. Palasyr, knowing generally how this kind of stuff works, is going to go. Removing a curse. This isn't a curse. We're going to have to do some kind of dispelling of the magic if we're to get rid of this, I think. Or we could potentially find the people that cast this and get rid of them.
I'm gonna talk to Muriel and see if I can ascertain where those two individuals went, or like what direction, or if there's landmarks around here that are known.
She looks at you, Fleck, and she continues stroking the girl's hair, and she goes, they were northern bound, not far from here. No more than where we lost sight of them after they'd been walking for about 15, 20 minutes towards the woods.
Are there any areas, like landmarks around here maybe that are maybe more strongly in tune with magic?
I mean, there's a clearing by the river that if you were to go closer to, they might have set up a camp there. I can't be sure, but that would be the best way I can tell, because the only other place they could go is the Castle Crest, but that's more southbound.
So Palasyr is going to turn to the woman stroking the child's hair and just say, "My only question would be why only these two?"
Oh, these aren't the only two. The other one building beside it that has three more of our ilk there.
Who would you say is the worse off? Has the
Probably her brother, and she points to the one that's been asleep in the bed.
Rose is going to evaluate him as well. See if there's anything worse than from the other one.
The difference you see between the two, it's the lines haven't changed, but you notice what you didn't see on the young girl before is the boy. He does have a rash that's stretching, and it's actually going up the side of his face and moving towards his eye, and it's going down his neck over his chest.
So Palasyr is going to turn and just... Did they all develop symptoms at the same time, or has this been...
They were all within a couple days of each other, maybe a day to 2 days apart from one another.
It's just strange that you would develop symptoms at different intervals or different severities if this was a spell of some kind. I'm trying to determine why some of you are affected and some of you aren't. And this one seems to be affected worse.
Did they come into contact with anything new?
Not that we've seen. And when we asked them about it, they said they had just been out in the fields, working in the fields. That's it. Well, not my daughter here. She was just, she was around her brother because he was asked to look after her.
Strange. Well,
Before we
go investigate the
before
fields?
we go out, I was about to say, before we go venture in the woods, y'all want to check the field? See if there's anything in there.
we can look. Palasyr is going to take Null aside.
Fleck apparently is going to Sonic the Hedgehog his happy ass over there.
Palasyr is going to take Null aside real quick and just be like, we need to figure out a way to use this to our advantage. It doesn't benefit us to be wasting this much time, and especially if we don't end up finding a solution. We have a mission that we're kind of on that is relatively important.
This is true.
Oh, I say we try to get something out of this so it's not a waste of time.
Do you think we should let Quack handle it since he's the
Let's
giant?
see here.
Doesn't seem like best negotiator. But just be thinking about something we can use to our advantage.
Oh, this is going to be great.
Oh, no.
Okay.
All right, Palasyr's going to start following Fleck, who's sprinting off into the fields, I suppose.
Okay. So what's the marching order then? Who's going to the field? I know Fleck got that. He obviously got there first because he's like, I'm on it.
I'm making my way
Downtown.
Walking fast, face.
All right, so Fleck, you arrive to the field. Null, you come right afterwards. Who is our third man up, or woman?
Probably me. Rose is probably going to finish evaluating the boy.
Oh, she's right there.
Yep, I just dragged her over there.
All right, you guys get to the main field after you see. You guys landed almost in it. And you notice there's potatoes, pumpkins, tomatoes, corn, some wheat. But
I'm gonna ask Palasyr if he can see anything with his magic sight.
Use your special eye. My brand.
My brand.
You see, actually, Palasyr, you see there is a patch of pumpkins that has the same glow coming from it.
Palasyr is going to cock his head and just, that is interesting. And motion to Fleck to follow, and he's going to move close, but not within touching distance.
Wait.
It is right here.
Before we go into the field, let me send the puppet, just in case.
All right.
Puppets can't be affected by diseases.
Palasyr is going to point to the pumpkin and just be like, all right, send your puppet to touch it so we make sure it's not going to instigate us.
Where is it? Right here?
Yep. There is a patch of pumpkins, and it's, various vines growing from them, but they all look... There are 5 pumpkins in total.
Do I just see pumpkins?
You just see pumpkins, unless you've got some way of detecting magic through vision.
I don't have that sight.
Then you see pumpkins.
Okay. Is it all 5 pumpkins, or is it just a certain one?
I don't know.
I do. Now, Palasyr is going to describe to Null what he sees.
The entire plant is glowing that same glow.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to touch it.
Okay.
Puppet touch.
So, it's nothing happens. You touch the pumpkin. What are you doing? No teeth. Just pumpkin.
Can I pick the...
You can pluck a pumpkin if you would like.
All right, that's what I want to do.
Oh boy. Puppet explosion.
Your puppet explodes.
Please, I do not have enough money.
No, your puppet does not explode. You have acquired a pumpkin.
Since he has picked it, is it still showing its magical properties after he has picked it off the vine?
Yes, it is.
Interesting. Palasyr's like, all right, bring it over here. Let me take a closer look.
Okay. I'm going to bring it right here.
All right. Palasyr is not going to touch this thing, but he is going to move close enough to get a better inspection of it. What does it look like to the naked eye?
It looks like a pumpkin.
And it looks like it is glowing with abjuration magic when I'm looking at it with my eldritch eyes.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Palasyr is puzzled. He's just like,
Are you pumpkin puzzled?
I am. This is a pumpkin-y puzzle. Palasyr just, well...
Pumpkin?
This doesn't give me a lot of answers. Palasyr is going to move over to the plant itself and look at the vine. Does it go... I assume it's got a root system and stuff. Is the root system also magic-y?
Yes. Yes, it is.
And nothing else around it is affected, just this one plant?
Correct.
Palasyr's just like, what the hell?
Pull up the root.
Rose's gonna yell, cut it open.
Oh boy.
Cut the pumpkin open?
Yeah.
Do a puppet slam on it.
I have my puppet.
Palasyr, I want you to make a dexterity roll.
Oh.
That's going to go great. Palasyr has great dexterity. He's the best at it, actually.
I beg to differ.
Ooh.
Nope.
Ooh.
Gifted. That's not better. Okay.
Oh, yes. I was hoping. Oh, yes. I was hoping for this.
I know you were. You don't have to hope for us to get garbage.
I really don't. It's kind of you paint a picture by itself.
You just know it's going to happen.
So, this is what happens to all of your viewpoints. As Palasyr walks through this field, and he gets close to the pumpkin patch, you see the dirt start to disturb, and a vine comes out and wraps around Palasyr's leg.
Lasers, all of the lasers.
As soon as it touches your leg, Palasyr, you hear a voice in your head.
You have to stop letting shit touch you.
I was far enough away, I thought.
Oh, no. Palasyr. This is... You feel your blood go cold. Because you recognize this voice. This is not Asmodeus, though. You hear a very gruff voice that you remember, and as soon as you do, you smell parchment. And you recognize the sound of an orc's voice speaking to your ear. Oh, look at that. We didn't have to go all the way to the city to find you.
Oh, no.
And you feel thorns sink into your leg. The pumpkin in your hands, by the way, from the viewpoint of everybody else, in your puppet's hands, wilts and splits apart, and you see this kind of blackish cloud curl out of it and reach back into the vine. And, by the way, it starts dragging you, Palasyr. It drags you 10 feet.
As a reaction, I am casting Hellish Rebuke to try and burn it the hell off of me.
I'm not even going to have you roll for damage. You definitely burn the vine off your leg, and you see this vine start ripping through the ground, and it just starts hauling ass towards the woods.
I was going to react and grab Palasyr and just like, no! You can't have
I mean, you can still try to grab him if you want.
If he burns it off and it's not dragging him away,
Okay. So Palasyr is visibly shaken. Everyone is going to notice this, and he's gonna turn to Null and just go, "This is bad. We need to leave."
We need to leave? That thing just grabbed you.
Yes. Yes, it did, and we need to leave.
We almost died over the shirt getting dirty, and you want to leave after a plant grabs you? Let's get this shit.
We have so much stuff to do and things that we need to accomplish. I just think that giant pumpkin land is.
I move the puppet closer and whisper, "What about extorting these fools?"
You have no idea what they're involved in or why they're involved in this, but we need to get the hell out of here.
If it's bad, then then probably a little.
These are the moments I live for as a DM.
So Palasyr's just gonna go, "They know me and they're looking for me, and they found me by accident through a fucking pumpkin, and I want to get out of here." Weird black tendril jump.
Flex go into the clearing.
Oh god.
So Palasyr, after calming down for a second, is just going to go, "I may be infected now with the same thing those two have, or those 5, or however many have. We might be forced to track these guys down anyway."
Save the grumpy butt!
I can't get any more off map.
Okay. So, by the way, we're doing this by stretch of imagination because I was not expecting this route to go this way. It just kind of ended up that way. So we're going to be doing some imagination for this part because I don't have a forest ready. I wasn't expecting this. Like, I planned for a little bit, and I was like, I guess this is the route we're going now.
We can use this area over here as the forest. Everybody just zoom in on that area. Not
which area?
Huh? This area, just zoom in.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
So we're zooming in really close, guys. Really close.
Everybody can see Palasyr's outstretched hand.
So what you guys see is while this is going on, Fleck is running off of, and the vine, by the way, is just digging through the ground. It's definitely leaving traces. You can see where the ground gets disturbed.
If it's leaving a trail, fuck yeah, I'm following that.
So Palasyr, will you wait for just a minute?
Too fast.
Rose
Way
is
too
running
furious.
after Fweck.
All right, Rose is going full tilt after Fleck, and Null and
Like Peterbilt.
Palasyr, you are kind of left in the dirt right now.
I'm bringing up the rear.
All righty, Palasyr, what are you
Palasyr's
doing?
Palasyr's moving at a quick walk. He's not running because he doesn't run. Running in robes is a bad idea. But he's nice, a jaunty little trot.
Jaunty little trot.
All right, you guys get to the edge of the woods, and yeah. At this point, now you guys are going to have to do some tracking, because while the dirt is disturbed, you're also wandering into woods at this point, as opposed to just field. So,
Am I getting anything from Eldritch Sight?
You kind of lose track of it in the underbrush.
Can I roll for perception?
You can roll for perception or survival, whichever is highest for any of you.
I think Danny's highest is Perception.
They're both based off of wisdom, so I guess it matters.
Yeah. You roll it on here.
Do 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 do
Alphabetical order.
do 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 do. All right, yeah, you can identify where it's headed from. Not so much branches being broken, but you can see where like the leaf matter has been, like it's being dragged and everything. And this thing isn't like, it's not trying to avoid or hide. It's just going straight forward, as far as you can tell. So,
All right. Well, Palasyr and Null and Puppet, I guess, are just going to keep following the two that are not being quiet or stealthy at all, and will be very easy to follow. So,
Yep. I'm going through.
I'm gonna go.
Letting everyone know.
I'm gonna
I can
get
see it
stealthy
going this
mode when
way.
we get closer.
all right. Well, you guys keep on walking, and yeah, it's just just wandering through the woods. Nothing so far. Just having a good old time out with your merry band of folks.
Just keep following it, I guess.
so Palasyr is
Yeah.
going to turn to Null while we're walking through the woods and just go, I believe these gentlemen may be from the cult of Asmodeus. They are not generally to be trifled with, and are not very nice people.
Who and or what is an Asmodeus?
He
And or what?
is a deity
Motherfucker.
of immense brilliance and power.
Uh-huh.
And he doesn't use that power for good, mostly.
Can Rose hear what they're saying?
Oh, Palasyr is being quiet.
And are you actually hanging close by them is the other question.
Well, I thought they were following us.
We are following you, yes. You are
Yes,
chasing
but
wagon.
that's where my question is. Are you trying to hang back and find out what's going on, or are you just like following the large man?
I'm probably following Fweck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take this opportunity to go stealth mode.
Super stealthy.
Yep.
Like disappears.
Yes. All
I'm
right.
going to follow suit or attempt
What,
to.
man? Where'd the 14-foot one go?
I'm just looking around. I'm like, okay, is that a tree or is that Fweck? What's happening?
Let's see here. Well, you're being sneaky, so let's see.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Nothing happens. You guys are still good, and you come to a clearing. As you come to the clearing, you hear water, and it's pretty quiet out here, and it seems relaxed. And as you get to the water, you see the vine is fully out of the ground, and it's attached to this small creature that is on two legs. It is made of wood and has one eye, and there are two figures standing next to each other, just kind of. They're not surprised. They're staring directly at all of you all. They're by the way
Even
down
me?
here, guys. Oh yes,
Okay.
they very much can see you all.
Oh, good.
Bitch.
With a 26 stealth, they don't give a fuck.
No.
You would be in front of me.
And the reason they don't give a fuck is because while you are being stealthy, they also are very aware that you guys were chasing said thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they've been waiting and they've been looking towards the direction. So yeah, no, like you can go ahead. I mean, they're not looking directly at you, but you can tell they're looking in your general direction. I mean, there's only one direction you could be coming from as far as the woods. And you see they're leaning towards and they're talking to each other, but they're doing it very, very quietly. And okay, what is the marching order here? Rose, did you go past Fleck? Fleck, are you holding back? Like, what's going on here?
Fleck would have been ahead of her, I think.
Yeah, I'm ahead of her.
I'm
just kind of like sitting at the edge of the woods where the clearing is, and I thought I was stealth, but apparently
Fleck,
not.
I mean, you can tell they're looking towards you, but they're not tracking your movement. Like they're just looking. So they're paying attention, but they haven't figured out you're there directly. They're just definitely looking in your direction. Looking at them, you would notice they're both in robes. One is a elf, and the other one, as you get closer, you can actually see under the hood a little bit, and he is an orc.
Like an orc, not like a Dargo half orc, but an orc.
No, full orc.
Full orc, tough and ugly, pig face.
Aren't they supposed to be dumb?
Not all of them.
That's racist.
So, are you going? What are you doing? You're the first one on scene. Like, are you gonna keep moving forward? You waiting for people? What exactly are you doing here?
I'm gonna, I'm assuming that since there's a clearing, I'm gonna try to, I guess, sneak over to the side to where I can maybe flank them.
Okay.
Jump out.
I'll allow that. What I'll do to represent this is I'm gonna place them over here. And the woods kind of extends from the line of where the field goes to the field will be actual woods, and then the rest of this is clearing.
Right.
So the woods goes along with the river, and the river just goes off to the side, and then it hooks. They're right at a bend in the river, is what it is.
Like right here, I would still be in woods.
Yes. But remember, you're getting pretty close at that point. Like, you're the equivalent of, what, is that 15, 20 feet away? So
25.
I thought because we
25?
I thought because we had zoomed in.
What is that?
What?
Gotcha.
That is
There's no way
and Herper.
fucking jump these guys.
It's going to be a great idea to do
I
that.
mean, yeah, you're probably at 25, but remember, it opens. Like, it goes from wood line to flat open, like grass, dirt, and then it's a river bed. Like, it's the edge of a river. There's rocks, and because the grass has been swept away when this thing actually, it rains and gets flooded. So yeah, there's not anything. Once you step out of the woods, there's nothing to hide behind. You're in open.
Nothing hiding the 16-foot tall or 14
yeah, that's
foot
the other
tall
thing you have to
giant.
remember. This isn't like you step out and it's like, I'm behind. I'm in it. There's a bush that no, there's no bush to hide behind for you.
We're in big boy woods though. We're in big boy woods.
Yes, you are.
Big
No,
boy sneaky.
the woods is very thick, but once you step out, it's grass and pebbles and dirt and then water.
I got you.
In order to stealth at that point, you'd have to be like Drax and have your movements so subtle that they wouldn't even be caught by the human eye.
Except one of these people is actually Mantis. Hi, Drax.
Damn.
So what are you doing? Like you're at the pretty much the edge of the wood line, and I would assume you are crouched low as hell in order to not be like face.
Are you just going to wait for everybody else to kind of show up as well? Are you gonna?
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of like keep my eye over there, see if everybody's in position. I don't know. I didn't really explain what I was gonna do, but
No,
I didn't think I'd get this far.
I didn't think I'd get this far.
Okay.
So everything up here is woods, and
Fuck it.
if it's like a 4-4 quadrant. All right, so I guess Rose would be the next to arrive.
There you go. There you go. Like, this will give you
Yay.
more of an idea of woodline.
Okay.
How's that work for you? That
Perfect.
work for you? I was like, what can I do here? Oh yeah, I can draw shapes.
Yes, you can. I'm proud of you.
All right.
Okay.
All right, so Rose is coming up on the edge, and she rolled a 19 stealth and accidentally double-clicked.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I saw that. Oh, and to let you know, by the way, I'm drawing. There we go. This is all river going down. So, like I said, there's not a massive amount of space between woods and river, but there's enough that you've got some open.
Am I able to see where Fweck is? Because he went
Probably not.
He went super stealthy too.
Based on I'm gonna make you roll for perception to see if you know where Fweck is, because you kind of hooked around.
26?
Yeah, that's
You'd have
the
to
question
advantage
here.
dice. I get
She'd have to
advantage
crit
because I'm
success,
a force.
which would be hilarious.
All right.
Like, if you want to see, I mean, you're gonna have to roll again. No, what did you roll anyways for stealth?
Oh, I didn't roll stealth at all.
You would still have
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You could
Take
get
it back.
You sure about that? You don't want to
Take it
stealth? You're
back.
just gonna walk through the woods?
Yeah.
Palsyr's not being stealthy.
Since they
Palsyr learned
already
his lesson.
knew that we were coming.
Well, they know where
that
you
we were
are. I mean, I don't know if they know where you are. But they
Okay,
know
well, based on what I just rolled, the orc is definitely looking at you, Null. He is looking directly at you. And he kind of nudges the elf, and the elf just smiles and he kind of puts his hand up and just starts waving forwards and to the side like, I know one of you guys are out there.
Okay, so it's good to
Cool.
have.
While they're focused on Null, I'm going to take this time to Swift Soul and Flurry of Blows the orc.
Good God.
Oh, I see we're going this way.
I have my puppet. Wait.
This
before
is the
you
worst
start
plan.
duking,
That
You're not
is
gonna let
a-
me talk to him first.
Which
have
one
my
is it?
puppet
Which one's it work?
wave
Is it
back.
this one?
So
That
hang
way
on,
work?
Jason.
Wait.
Real quick. Null and I are arriving at the same time.
Okay.
And I am literally just walking out of the woods.
Well, I mean, the only issue here is Fleck already said he was moving. Like, he's faster
That's
than
fine,
you.
but I'm just saying I arrived at the exact same time.
That's
so
fine. All right, go ahead, Fleck. Finish what you were doing.
I mean,
This could be awful.
can I just make an attack roll without rolling initiative?
Yeah, because it's going to be a surprise. I will allow it to be a surprise.
Which one's the orc? Is it this
Our
one?
very
on the right?
first.
He's the blue one because that actually is an elf, is what that is. So
Sorry, let me zoom in.
Yeah.
Oh. Boom.
okay, go ahead and roll an attack roll.
There's that one. Oh, shit. I'm still rolling with advantage. Might be.
Well, I'm like, okay, well, you see as you swing at him, he raises his hand, and your punch actually bounces off this invisible field, like this slightly glowing blue field that pops up around him.
That's a nice spell. I like that spell. Actually, know
Oh,
what that
my
spell
hit
is.
All right, roll again.
He gets to keep that AC until the end of his turn.
Yeah, I know. Oh, that went
I'm using gifted!
okay. Go for it.
Alright.
Okay, you hit him. Roll your damage.
Oh boy.
So I'm guessing the quarterstaff didn't do any damage?
Oh no, the quarterstaff, you hit and you could feel it ring as it just hit what felt like, it pretty much felt like you hit a wall.
Okay.
All right, so why did you hit twice? You only hit one time. Like, your first strike didn't hit. You really think that other one's going to hit him? But either way, you did.
No, you said roll damage, and I used flurry of blows, so I get 2
Yeah,
extra
but
attack.
Only one attack hit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
the
the
Yeah, but you
16
gifted
missed.
on that other attack.
Yeah,
I used gifted on the 6.
you gotta. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you missed with the 16 is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, fuck.
Like
Okay.
yeah, a 16, a 6. That's why I was like, what are you talking about? I just told you missed on a 16, bro.
Fuck.
You missed on a 19.
You missed on a 19. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's a strong boy. Yeah, you
I
hit
didn't miss
him.
on the 19. I was just still rolling with advantage. So
Well, I mean, either way, you missed with a 19. So
fuck this dude.
he smiles like he hit, and you see him oof, but then he smiles up at you. I need you. Well, go ahead. For now, roll an initiative real quick. The rest of you don't roll an initiative, just because I'm trying to figure something out real quick.
Oh boy.
God damn.
Okay.
Fuck my balls.
Oh wow. Okay, so yeah, both of them are gonna go before you. I need you to make, if I'm thinking this right, you're gonna have to make, I believe it's a wisdom save, so you might be okay.
Palasyr is going to see all this going on and just go, oh God. Oh.
Are they trying to charm me?
Does Palasyr know how strong these guys are? Generally.
It is, let's see here. It is technically a charm spell.
Haha, I have advantage.
Alright, roll with advantage then.
I'll put Y.
Oh,
Is
no,
it a wisdom
I know why.
Oh, okay. I got you.
It's a wisdom save, so go ahead, roll with advantage.
22.
Oh,
Okay. The orc is the one who went first, and he shifts his head and goes, okay. You hear him say, all right then. Let's see if the other person.
I just realized it said you share some elven blood in association with the little.
This one, however, go ahead, make another wisdom save. You do not make this at advantage, though.
This one is not.
You feel your body immediately lock up.
That's
Oh,
whole person. That's a
You
great
cannot move at all.
That is such a good spell.
And yeah, so what do you got? At this point, I will say that he is held person, and you guys, I'll give you a turn to figure out what the hell you're doing. Like, this isn't combat with you guys at this point.
So, question: do we know that he's being held?
Palasyr would. Palasyr knows the spell.
I do too.
Yes, because all of you would have seen, because it requires somatic, there is a material which is a small straight piece of iron. So you would have seen the elf raise his hand, and he has a small rod of iron, and he waves it, and you see Fleck's body all of a sudden freezes mid getting ready to punch again, and he's not moving at all.
Palasyr's just going to go, enough. What are you doing here?
Oh, look, it's our pupil, isn't it? And at that point, the elf is he's going to start walking towards Palasyr.
So you were searching for me, is it?
Well, do you blame us?
No.
I do.
Yeah. You can't even talk.
Yeah,
But-
you're stuck right now.
So Palasyr, just what is it that
What a
you want?
fucking topic.
What I want? No, it's not what I want. I mean, both of us would like. Well, And he looks over. He goes, "I'll let him explain." And the orc walks forward, like walks away from Fleck.
I'm just saying, it seems like it should be a considerable amount of concentration, but no, fuck me, right?
Don't worry, it's not. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. it doesn't last long at all. Like, yeah, I'll go ahead.
It's only a minute.
Yeah. So, anyways, he's gonna go. No, we're not mad. We're not even disappointed with you. Although, you know, your old teacher here, he definitely was a little angry. He wanted to kill you, Palasyr.
That is understandable, and he should get in line.
We lost so many acolytes thanks to you, you little bastard.
How is it that both of you survived, if you don't mind me asking?
We don't have to answer any of your questions.
Fair. This leads me back to my original question. What is it you think I can do for you?
What you can... Really? What can you do for... They sigh and look at each other. We go, well, one, you can work off the debt that you owe us for killing our acolytes. One. You have to admit it's only fair.
I don't care much for fairness.
Well, it's either that or we could just kill all of you right now.
Ha!
Does Palasyr know generally their strength level?
He has a somewhat idea of their strength level, and based on your knowledge, you know there is not a chance in hell of you being able to take them on, and you're not sure, even with a group, how well it's going to go for you guys.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Palasyr's just going to go, well, how is it you think I can pay this debt?
Well, number one, you can start collecting us some more acolytes.
Oh, wait, what, really? We're just gonna Davy Jones this situation?
Price. I will get you a William Turner. Is there any other way I can pay
100 souls.
3 days.
3 days.
I'm really good at liar's dice.
Well, I mean, based on when you say that, DJ, I need you to make a charisma save.
Whoa, I am good at that.
Charisma saving throw.
Why?
We don't know yet.
With advantage or something, or just
just charisma saving throw. Unless you have special ability that gives you advantage.
Oh, damn. +7 and you rolled a 7.
Yeah.
You poof out of existence.
Oh, you just got banished.
Why?
Because they want to talk to me and not be punched.
By the way, Fleck, you have become unfrozen, and you have to remember when you're hold person, huh?
Oh wait, go ahead, continue with Fleck. You can continue with Fleck.
Oh, okay. So, anyways, Fleck, you realize that the people that were standing in front of you are no longer standing in front of you. They are off to your side, and you heard everything going on. You see Palasyr talking to them. You don't see Null, and his puppet has just flopped to the ground.
No, the puppet's still there.
No, I'm saying the puppet flops to the ground like it. You're not attached to it, buddy.
The strings are interdimensional.
You're on a different plane of existence.
Yeah, that's interdimensional.
Okay. All right.
Really? Do they go across planes? Because that is bananas.
Yeah. Bananas.
Because I think they have a distance.
Yeah.
If they sit me, if I'm like on the same plane, or if I'm on a different plane but in the same distance from it, then
if the plane's back on
Banishment is an interesting spell too, because depending on how they cast it and what plane you're on, it works a little bit differently.
I mean, we can say that I don't have attachment to my puppet right now.
Well, this could be important for
yeah.
later
That's
on
why
in
I'm
case
like,
he
hold
gets
on,
banished.
let me check this real quick.
Actually,
Banishment is interesting.
String.
That looks like it's better than it
Okay, question.
What?
Plane am I on?
With banishment?
If I'm on the ethereal plane,
Grapefruit.
I'm still connected to
White
it. Any other plane of existence,
They don't
I'm
take
connected
it.
to it.
And they're part of the story.
Oh no, that's a bad place.
They sent me to hell.
Yeah, he sent you to one of the 9 levels of hell is where he popped you into
Ooh.
existence.
Sweet shit. What is it? There was.
You're not in Lost area, by the way, buddy.
No, I played Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, which plane of hell is this? It's Gluttony's plane.
Oh, it's not a good plane.
None of them.
Is it the second one? Please tell me it's the second one.
It is the plane of the Archdevils.
Oh, fuck. That's the last one.
Yeah, you're not in a good place, buddy. You're in a really bad place.
You couldn't send me to the one where all the, busty women.
No, the lusty plane of pornography and good times. No, you're not going there, man.
The plane of hell that is filled with busty
So
women
yeah,
and drugs.
so that being said, all right, I will leave the puppet standing there, but I'm
not connected to it.
No.
It flops. No, it.
Oh, okay.
Disconnected.
So it. So yeah, Fleck, you are looking at these two guys talking to Palasyr. Palasyr's just kind of standing there. You don't see Rose because she's still in the woods, as far as I know. Unless Rose, what are you doing?
I'm still watching. I rolled a 19 for stealth.
Yeah, you're learning a lot right now.
Yep.
You watched Null poof out of existence. He just poof disappeared.
So,
Fleck, you actually don't know what happened to Null because with the way you were looking, you wouldn't know that he just disappeared.
You just see his puppet lying prone.
Yeah.
He's not there.
Yeah, you have no idea what's going on. You just see his puppet on the ground. And you see Palasyr calmly talking to the other two.
Okay.
Which is what Palasyr would do if Null was dead, but,
So what's everybody doing here?
Palasyr's just going to go, are you having fun with my associates?
Yeah, actually I am. I mean, I could, have fun with you if you'd prefer, like our old lessons.
Palasyr's going to get a big grin and just go, I can't wait to have fun with banishment whenever I learn that spell.
Oh, it's a fun spell.
I know. I want it. Anyway, so potential acolyte reimbursement. And is there any other way I can pay off this debt more quickly?
No, we're planning on having our full payment. I'm not doing any of this quick for this or that. No, we're not doing any of that. The orc is just staying there very quietly. He's just staring at you.
And are you still at the same location? Is that where I should send them?
Oh, no, we can find you. And he points at your leg, and you see it start glowing a little bit.
The black spot!
Oh, and if you remove it, we will come looking for you, and then we'll start looking for more payment on top of that.
Black spot.
Palasyr's just going to smile at him, just, well done. Well done.
You're the one who wandered. I thought I taught you better than that, pupil.
Yeah, well, maybe you overestimate your teaching abilities.
Oh, I normally do, but it's because of situations like this. Because if it wasn't for you, I would be back, minding my business, having a good time. And instead, I've tracked all over this continent looking for you.
Oh, I pity you so much.
That being said, and he smiles, he goes, have you been having fun with the master?
Fun is a strong word. Palasyr doesn't even try to hide the fact that he did not have a good time.
You didn't wonder why he took an interest in you at all?
No, I didn't. I think I know.
And he smiles, just this big shit-eating grin. Just really not even a little curious.
You had something to do with this.
Oh, give the boy a cookie!
I should have expected as much. You two might not be redeemable in any way, but you're not stupid.
No, if we were, would we still be alive? You know, people in our positions, we don't last very long. And we've been around a very long time, boy.
Are we done here?
For now. Although, wait a minute, he reaches in his pocket and he pulls out a small black disc and he puts it out. He goes, take this with you.
Palasyr is going to reach out and take the black disc.
Good.
What is it?
One, it's a way for you to keep track of your debt to us. And two, it's another way for us to come looking for you if we need to.
Great.
It might even help you if you actually do some research and find out what some of the other little abilities are built into it. Consider it a curse and a gift at once, if you will.
As is everything with the master.
Oh, of course. But, the rewards are there if you know how to play the game.
We're all still learning the game, aren't we?
Well, some of us know the rules better than others, obviously.
Too true.
All right, we're good. And he claps the orc on the shoulder. He goes, oh, right. He snaps his fingers and Null pops back into existence. At that moment, they both chuckle and go, did you enjoy your ride? The elf steps forward. As he does, he disappears and reappears behind you, Null, and puts his hand on your shoulder. Do we have a problem?
Palasyr just speaks up immediately. Just no, we do not.
Fine.
No, we don't.
Fine.
As I grip my scimitar with all my might, no, do not.
He leans forward into your ear and goes, I can send you much worse places.
I'm pretty sure you can, but I'm pretty sure your mother is a nice lady.
Aw, I killed my mother. And with that, he walks past you.
Palasyr just motions to the rest of the group. Let's get moving.
The orc claps his hands, and as he does, he rubs them together and opens them, and a portal appears.
Cure the giants. No,
what?
Cure the giants. Cure the giants.
What about the giants?
Cure the giants.
To them? Trying to get.
I suppose I do have to remove that, because if I don't, it's going to spread to our friend here. Okay, fine. He waves his hand. As he does, he snaps his fingers, and the vine creature shrivels up and dusts. And with that, you hear this echo of screams in the background from inside your minds. And he goes, all right, they're clear. You're not. And he points at you, Palasyr, and goes, you're not going to be free for a while. And this time, we have contingencies in place for you. We won't.
Always a good idea.
We won't make the same mistake. And
just a different.
Both of them walk through the portal, and it closes behind them.
Eat shit!
As you yell this to the open air.
Palasyr is just going to turn and Eldritch Blast a tree and just yell, fuck!
Wait, which direction?
That's a good question, actually.
He's shooting past Null. Actually, I'm going to roll a d4.
I'm genuinely curious.
1 is north. A tree blows up right next to you.
Well,
A tree. Well, hold on. Wait. I'm curious now.
The
D4.
tree just blows up right next to Danny. Right
Oh,
next
you
to
are
the-
so lucky. It actually fell to the left, so it actually falls beside you.
Yeah, out of reaction, she's mad, so she throws her mace at him. Non-lethal.
I mean,
Jesus.
roll an attack
You're hitting
roll?
Palasyr with a mace.
Non-lethal
Yeah.
unless you roll a nat fucking 20.
I mean, roll.
I didn't hit you. I hit a tree.
Scared me.
You roll an attack roll. I mean, you threw a mace at him. It's still a mace.
This is a throne,
I
and
can
it's
always
a mace.
feel him. It's okay.
I think because mace doesn't have the throne property, I
They
think this
don't
is going to
have
be
the
a
throne
disadvantage. Or she doesn't get her.
She doesn't get her
remember how that works.
proficiency to it, is what it is.
Where am I going?
You're rolling a flat
All right.
d20.
Where?
And she
You're rolling flat d20.
Ow.
she rolls with her dexterity too. That's why this gets weird.
mm-hmm.
Why does she roll with Dex?
I think she
Because
just
it's
rolls-
thrown.
I think she
Anything
just rolls a flat
ranged-
d20 because she doesn't get her dex. on
Yeah,
top
that's
of it.
true.
She doesn't have
Because
her thrown
she's not.
modifier.
Yeah.
I think it
What's-
still hits.
What's your AC?
Oh boy.
Palasyr, what's your AC?
Oh yeah, 10.
Roll your damage.
Damn it, Danny.
All right, I gotta go to work, guys.
Okay, Fleck. Have a good one, buddy.
See y'all later.
Love you.
Danny hits me for 2 bludgeoning, and I am resistant to bludgeoning, so I take 1 damage.
You are not resistant because it is a magical weapon, and you take
Magical
3
weapon.
damage.
Actually, am I resistant to magical bludgeoning? I think it's all bludgeoning.
No,
Bludgeoning.
because magical damage proceeds because otherwise you wouldn't get through anybody who's resistant to that damage, Eric.
Well, it just depends on what it is. So for-
Well, as DM, I'm ruling because it's a magical weapon, you are not going to be resistant. It's 3 damage. Take your 3 damage and be done with it.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's 2 damage.
So I step out of the woods, pick up my mace, and I say, "Watch where you're blowing shit up."
Why is it 2 damage? It's still a magic. It's a +1 weapon, Eric.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's right. So 3 damage.
Yeah, take your 3 damage. Stop arguing.
Palasyr doesn't even notice almost. He's too angry, and he just starts lasering more trees.
Okay. So Eric, Palasyr is just blowing trees up out of anger.
Palasyr is visibly, like, he's shaking. He's so angry.
Yeah, I'm gonna use hold, make him stop. Hold person on him.
Oh my god! Wow, that's 2 hold persons in one go.
What's your save, DC? 14? And what is it? Charisma save?
Uh-huh.
What is all that noise in the background?
There's Aaron. He's still connected to work yet.
Yeah, fuck you.
Holy.
Wow, Eric, your body locks up.
No, it does not. Danny cast it. It's a save DC of 14, and I rolled a nat 20.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, right. Yeah, no, you feel magic wash over you, but nothing happens.
So at that point,
Oh.
he knows he's being targeted with spells, and he is just going to, enraged, look over at Rose, and he is going to yell, "Fuck off," and shoot at her.
I think that's probably a miss based on what I've heard about Rose.
Oh
and
yeah,
her-
no, her AC is way high.
So
It's
yeah,
probably just
this
being outside her.
blasts actually right past you, Rose, as you lean sideways.
I
Look,
just want to point at him
as
like,
much-
"Calm down, or I will cuddle with you tonight."
Oh my
How's
god!
Oh.
Uh,
As much as I would like to bless our friend here and do other horrible things, the same horrible things that was done to me.
Palasyr's going to turn to Null, and he's just going to go, "I've been there countless times at their hand. I know exactly what you went through, and I know it can get 10 times worse. Be grateful it was only as bad as it was."
All right, come on, Jack.
So, who were your friends?
Friends. He's not even going to finish the sentence. He's just going to kind of trail off, and then just I thought they were dead. Otherwise, I would be in hiding somewhere.
All right, now I'm out. Catch y'all later.
All right, bud.
Later. And Palasyr just goes, I thought I had killed them, and they deserve death. But they're too smart. And I was too stupid to realize that what they were... I don't even know what they did, but it's... Ah! Palasyr's going to laser another tree.
I was just going to throw her hands up, like, and go back to see if the sick are actually better or not.
All right. Rose starts heading back to the village.
Making her way downtown.
Walking fast.
So Palasyr is going to turn to Null and just go, I owe a debt, and there is nothing I can do to get out of it. They are too strong. They have too much leverage. They're too smart. There's nothing I can do.
So, if I'm understanding your part, you are or were part of a cult who worship a god who does things not so good.
I was taken as a child and put in their care. And their care is not a place you want to be. They brought me up in the cult of Asmodeus and trained me to be what I am today. A manipulative deceiver with magical abilities, and I am nowhere near as strong as they are. They have been around for some time. And I tried to kill them and leave, but apparently they survived, which blows my mind. And I killed most of the acolytes that were along with me because death is better than being with them.
Wait a minute. So, if I'm understanding this right, you've killed most of the worshippers of a certain god, and he didn't have an issue with that. You're still walking around with your two ankles intact.
Asmodeus is an interesting being. He can appreciate a well thought out plan. He can appreciate destroying those that are in your way. For him, me destroying the other acolytes was culling the weak. And when I did so, I didn't elicit any punishment from him. He doesn't want weak followers. And when I failed to kill the other two, I can imagine that that is one of the many reasons he has chosen to pick on me, other than the fact that we now are in service to some sort of blue deity creature, and we're touched by destiny, it would seem. I have piqued Asmodeus's interest, which is not something you want to do. He is tracking our every move.
Wait, since we've joined together, he's been watching you? Shit.
He can literally hear my every word if he so chooses.
And I assume he chooses all the time.
I would not presume to understand Asmodeus's motives. He is so far beyond our intellect. It's not even comparable to a human being at all.
No, I completely understand.
Regardless.
Or don't understand. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Regardless, if you could please keep this to yourself. The general public is not a fan of my ilk. And if anyone finds out, say, paladins or clerics, it could end very poorly.
You mean like the paladin we just have joined our party?
She's a cleric, but yeah.
Cleric? So it's probably...
She has probably already learned too much, but she might understand as well that to a certain extent I am a victim here and take pity. Regardless, I don't care as much about what she thinks as I do the orders, the paladin order, the cleric order. They would seek to wipe me off the face of the earth.
I don't. Okay, so I don't like. Null doesn't know about the the recruitment order, right? I was banished during that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, yeah, you
Okay.
were.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just so I don't like. Okay.
No, you're not
Well.
meta-knowledging right now. You're good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
That's why I've been quiet. I'm enjoying this.
It's gonna take me a while to process this. Um. Is there like? You think we can try to like kill them? Just
Eventually, yes. Now, no. We have to find some sort of strategic advantage. And right now, they have all of the cards in their hand. We have nothing. We have to figure out how we can take them by surprise or find a way to undermine them and get an advantage and then take them out. But right now, I don't see how to do that. This is going to take time. We have to play their game. And by we, I mean me and you not getting in my way.
I won't stand in your way, but I'm thinking, why don't you become the new leader of the cult?
I am not strong enough currently. It would take time and knowledge to amass enough power and influence to become the leader. And becoming the leader is not necessarily a good goal to have. It depends on what we want to do. My goal was eventually to become free of Asmodeus. And I think that is the goal of any follower of anyone, is to become independent and become strong enough to be on your own. And I think Asmodeus would also respect that. He doesn't want someone who's just blindly submissive either, because he's not that way, and we're following in his footsteps. It's complicated.
I think that's why he likes you, because you reject him. So
It's a complicated relationship, to be sure, and I still don't understand his part of it entirely, and I never will. Regardless, let's get everyone back together, try to twist this to where we have an advantage with the giants, try to get something out of it, and get the hell off of this rock.
All right.
I'm going to trust you to hopefully do most of the talking, because I am a bit deep in my own mind right now.
All right, so I guess we can make our way back to the village.
Danny, what are you doing? I'd imagine you should probably have something to say about all this.
Well, I'm with Miriam now.
I don't even think we know. Oh, you already went back. Okay.
Yeah, she kind of. I was waiting to see what she was doing. I was like, I'm pretty sure she literally, because she said she was headed back to the Giants. So.
Yeah. I was waiting for them to get done with their spiel.
Okay. Well, you head back and you wander back to the town, and there you notice that Null and Palasyr are hanging back. You're like not sprinting, but you're in a quick pace back. And you arrive back in, and you come back, and you see Muriel is by the bedside of her two, as you're realizing, because both of the kids are out of the bed, and they're both like talking excitedly with their mother and very happy. You see that her daughter's feet are completely clear. There's no black. There's no strange veins going up her legs. She's in shorts and a big baggy t-shirt, and very excitedly talking to her mom and how much better she feels. And you walk in, and Muriel looks at you, and you see a tear roll down her face, and she comes up and she hooks her arms around you, and not super gently, but picks you up on the ground. She's like, "Thank you. I don't know what you've done, but thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you."
Oh, you're so welcome. Because I did it.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't all Palasyr.
I'm so glad that they're better. How are the others?
My husband's with them right now, and everyone's better apparently. I don't know what any of you have done, but thank you so much.
It was an evil outside source. I pray that you never have to endure this again.
And when you say that, her eyes narrow and she goes, Was it the strangers that arrived before?
Huh?
Yes. Yes, they are terrible, terrible beings.
Super a lot. Yes.
Are they still alive? Will they be coming back?
They're still alive, but they're gone. You might want to leave this place, but I don't want you to leave your home.
She stands up, and you notice as she stands up and she rolls her shoulders back that despite her, like, you notice that earlier where she was like moving around really quickly, she definitely was not standing full. She was kind of slumped down a little bit to look less, but as she rolls her shoulders back, you notice that the cloak she was wearing before, like it was like a shawl thing, is gone. She has some shoulders on her. Like, this woman is... now that you see her without, like, she's got just a standard, like, what is that called, where it's like, a tunic with a belt around it. You notice that she is, you're understanding after seeing her husband and how large he was, that this woman, you're like, oh, okay, this is probably the one that, there's a reason why he married her. She's an impressive figure. Like, this is not like all of the doting mother you saw before rolls back at, like, off completely as soon as, like, you mention potentially, like, them being still alive.
Yeah.
Battle mode, engage.
She goes, we're a hardy people, and it's not the first time we've had to move because others sought us harm. We can find other places. It was nice, but it's fine if we travel.
So, Palasyr is going to go back to that same area. I don't know if he'd be back yet, but...
By this point, you would be coming up outside the village, but not quite in... Like, Rose was moving pretty quick, and I imagine you were probably hanging back to keep things more quiet between you and Null during the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sorry that you are having to endure this, but I do want you all to be safe, and I hope that we can be friends, and if we cross paths again, it'll be...
will. She looks at you and she goes, you will always have a friend with the Stonefoot clan.
Yay.
Glad you guys didn't become the Blackfoot clan.
And on that note, the children have ran outside. They're actually running outside. They're yelling, "Dad! Dad!" And she smiles. As they do, you see her look down, and she sees your necklace, Rose. And you feel the necklace begins to warm. And as it warms, you see she closes her eyes. As she does, the door behind you slams shut, and her eyes are glowing bright white. She's still standing there, but she looks down, and she smiles down at you and goes, "Rose, it's good to finally meet you in person."
Renee?
She smiles again. She actually drops down to one knee, and she just is looking down, and you can see as she's looking you in the eyes, you see this glowing white face reaches through, and this white figure has antlers off the side. She's in white robe. She has a bow across her shoulders, thigh-high boots, and a horn beside her. And she goes, "It's a pleasure to meet you, my child."
Oh my God! I'm not worthy. Oh my God, I'm not worthy. I'm so excited.
She starts laughing. She's like, I appreciate it, but it's fine. It's fine. You're doing the work that I wish. She goes, for a moment, I needed to speak to you, and thankfully, the one in front of you, she's gifted in the faith. Not so much mine, but she's a believer in spiritualism, much like her people are. And I've followed the giants before. They're a kind people, hardy people, and have been through many trials. But good. At their core, very good.
And they like to travel.
Yeah.
And yes, they do share a love of traveling, much like myself. I came to speak with you because it's a combination of a warning and praise. I don't wish any harm to befall you. You're special in my eyes. That being said,
My God's better than yours.
be wary of the company you keep. One of them in particular.
Yeah, I have many questions after what just transpired.
And you should ask them. Remember, we are seekers of knowledge. You will find answers. And you're on the right path. I know where you and your companions are headed. You're headed to the Empire, and Castellione is a good place to start. It's nowhere near the end of this journey for you. There's a lot to unfold. But you'll get there. I know you will.
Is there anything else that you can share with me?
Seek out my temple when you get there. It's not large. Like I said, our faith tends to wander, as I'm sure you're aware, especially as one of my followers. But if you go there, you'll begin to get answers. I promise you that, my child.
Thank you.
That being said, one more warning. The ones that they are following, the advice, I know that they were sent to find you, and it's good that they did, but the one that gave them the advice, be wary of her. I know she'll appear again.
Is that the bunksome woman that Fleck is after?
She thick!
Just
the
be
giant
wary of
woman-
her.
Did you call him bunksome?
Bunksome.
Buxom.
I thought she said bunksome.
Boobs.
Yes. Stacked!
I will
But
do
she,
that.
yes. But I'm not one to. I've been waiting a while to speak to you, and I don't like to go without giving gifts. And with that, she reaches out and she touches you on the shoulder, and you feel that same warm feeling from your pendant. She goes, if you're ever in need, touch the pendant, and I will try to send guidance to you.
Thank you. Can I
Eh.
hug you?
She raises her arms up like this.
Aw!
And as you hug her, you feel, as you do, your arms slowly pass and you're hugging yourself, but you can still feel that same warmth of when you wrapped your arms around her, and you hear the laughter in your ear as it fades away. And as it does, the door slowly opens again. And the giant woman's kind of looking at you, because where you're hugging, by the way, is you're hugging her face. She's like, thank you?
So I think at this point, Palasyr is probably about to walk in.
Yeah, you walk into seeing Rose hugging this giant woman's face.
I'm just jumping.
Palasyr's like, yeah, that's about right. I need to talk to you.
Yes.
Not you. And Palasyr's going to go, I was able to essentially take this disease upon myself, and doing so rid your people of it. And Palasyr is going to show her on his leg that it's still there.
She looks at you and goes, I thank you and your compatriots. There's not a lot the giant people, the Stonefoots, can do. We're not very material, as you can see, but we do have a little bit of money we could probably give you, and anytime you find us, you are more than welcome to call favor. You have our
Palasyr's
thanks.
gonna nod. He's going to tell them, if you ever run into this again, the way I would attempt to treat it is using someone who knows how to dispel magic. The stronger, the better. I don't know how arcane your people are, but anyone that can learn magic presumably could learn how to dispel it, and the stronger they are in their magic abilities, the better. The ones who put this on you are very powerful. I don't know what they wanted with you, but they're gone for now.
Well, thank you for what you've done. And she goes outside, and you see her, as she does, she calls for her husband. You see them talking in giant for a little while. And he reaches under his armor, and he pulls a small pouch out, and he goes, we don't have a lot, but here. This is for you and your friends. I'm giving you my personal share. I can't ask for more than that of my people, but you'll find it's somewhat of a thank you from us. If we could do more, we would.
We understand. Every bit helps.
And you guys can add to, you can either do it as a group fund or have you. You have actually received 250 gold.
Ooh, nice little chunk of change. All I had to do was essentially trade my immortal soul for it, but...
I mean, you already traded it to someone already, so it's not that big a deal.
Is that 250 a piece or altogether?
Altogether. 250.
Did anybody see Palasyr get this money?
Rose, go ahead and roll a perception. By the way, Null, where are you?
I'm right here. Is this not where everything is happening?
He should be near me.
Okay, then yeah, you would have. I mean, it's a giant handy, and he did speak this out loud. Like he didn't whisper it down, or so. Null, you would definitely see. I'm not sure about Rose. If you're still if you're just joygasming inside the house.
I hit the wrong one. Hang on.
No, you didn't. You hit Rose. You hit it on your character sheet. You just left it under my name by accident. So she rolled an 11 perception.
Okay. You would see he handed some sort of pouch. But Null saw and heard everything.
Yeah. No, I'm going to turn to Null and just say, we'll split it later. Let's get back on the ship.
All right. Well, with that, the giants bid adieu. And is there anything else you want to do before you head out on the ship?
Eat, drink, and be merry.
I mean, those are some pretty big drinks.
That's true. Palasyr needs a drink for sure, and he doesn't want to delve into the stores on the ship if he doesn't have to.
Okay. I mean, you got, like I said, the Stonefoot clan have said you can stay, and if you need anything, outside of the money they gave you, they'll supply you with food and a drink if you'd like. Hang out with the giants for a little while.
Can we stay for the night?
Sure. They do not charge you for a place to stay. Ulthgur and Muriel actually put you up in the feast hall, and they actually get everyone together. You realize there's actually a total of about 30 or so giants in total who live in this village. It's not a massive grouping, but, giants, that's a pretty large contingent of people. You would say about 7 of them are children, so there's a healthy amount of kids here. There's probably, if I remember the way I set this up, there's 15 full-grown adult giants, and then, it's anything outside the 7 and the 15 is random assortment of, preteen to young adult.
So Palasyr is going to try and get some time to himself after he's had a little bit of time to process and calm down to attempt to contact Asmodeus. Because Asmodeus doesn't like it when he doesn't get contacted.
When you contact this... okay, so wait. Actually, I'm going to play this out a little then. How are you contacting him?
Palasyr is going to get in a room by himself.
Okay.
Sit like cross-legged and just go, Asmodeus, are you listening?
I'm sorry, what was that? And you look up and you see a very, very dapper, very pale-skinned man standing in the corner, full suit with the tails, has a tall hat on, has a monocle, and he goes, yes, and a mustache appears out of nowhere, and he starts curling. He goes, how can I help you?
Palasyr is going to turn up to him and just go, first of all, love the mustache. That is fantastic.
And like that, I hate it, and he sweeps it, it disappears. No, he actually does this, too. As soon as he said it, he's like, and it's gone.
That is glorious. Palasyr is going to go, I was contacted by my old teachers.
Oh. Yes. They're fun.
Fun is a word. And they have charged me with delivering more acolytes into your service.
Oh, I'm aware.
For them to instruct. I assume you're aware.
Oh, yeah.
However, I will not sit idly with my fate that they have decided for me, as I would assume any acolyte who follows your ways would not. Currently, I will be seeking any sort of advantage I can get over them. But until then, I will deliver you the strongest and smartest acolytes that are worthy to serve you that I can.
He smiles and goes, it's not necessary.
Isn't it?
No, it's not. My various tools, as it were, they'll deliver me what I need. You keep going the way you're going. There's more interesting things for me to sniff out with what you're doing. Speaking of which,
oh boy,
I notice, and no, I'm not holding. This isn't going to be one of those visits. You're fine. You don't even have to sit there. Like, you can stand up, you can stretch. Like, that just looks uncomfortable.
It is a bit, and he's gonna stand up.
Okay. No. I'm in a much better mood than the last times I've come to visit you, because guess what? You're actually doing what I told you to in the first place. See how much more pleasant I am to deal with when you do what I say.
Considerably, yes.
Doesn't that just make you want to do that all the time?
Yes, it does.
Oh, good. I'm glad that we have an understanding now. Oh, I get tired of all that unpleasantness. I don't always have to be some supreme overbeing that just makes my, people miserable. Because honestly, how would I have attracted people to serve me if I was just unpleasant all the time? Did you ever think of that?
I did, actually. But this is the first time I'm able to experience the non-angry version of you.
It's because you did what you were told this time. I told you, if I can be much more pleasant to deal with if you actually open your ears, you listen, and follow my orders.
I will be continuing down this path for as long as you have me walk it. Is there any more specific direction you have for me before we call it a day?
Oh, not instruction. I just figure after everything that has been done to you, it was... And since you did what I told you to, I thought maybe, like the good dog that you are, I should probably reward you. This time.
What kind of reward are you talking about?
Well, I just thought, I know the reasons why you followed, and you can lie to the others, and you can lie to yourself all you want about, oh, I was kidnapped, and I was taken, and they tortured me. You know as much as I do that beneath all of this that you have, you're my follower for a reason. Palasyr.
By my
You hunger for power, and you'll do anything to get it. I know you, and I know that is what you want.
I could never lie to you.
And you shouldn't. You know what will happen if you do.
You would see right through me.
Yes. And speaking of seeing right through you, I was just puzzling out what I should offer you as a gift. And I think for somebody who works in the shadows, I think there is a something that I should give you. Yes, I think this will work. And he sweeps his hand around. As he does, he conjures out literally a shadow out of the air, and it forms into a ring. And he holds it out. Go on. Take it.
Palasyr's going to reach out and take it. Look at it. What is it?
Put it on. As you put it on, you feel your entire body. It warms over for a second, then fades a bit. He goes, "No, step out of the light. Step into that corner over there."
Okay, he's going to follow the instructions.
You notice as soon as you stop moving and you're in the shadow, you turn invisible.
Ooh.
Now move real quick. As you move around, your body stops becoming invisible.
Palasyr just a very, very useful gift.
As long as you stay in the shadows and you don't move, you can turn invisible. That being said, however, keep in mind you can will it to not do that. Just so you can, you're not always just phasing in and out. That might throw people a little bit.
I see. This is a very, very gracious gift that you've given me.
So, Eric, what you can put in your inventory is the Ring of Shadows. Basically, as a bonus action, if you are standing still in dim light or darkness, you can use as a bonus action to turn invisible.
Sick.
This ends the moment you start moving. So if you make a movement phase, it does end. Or if you take an action, it immediately ends. So
I'm going to use the shit out of this thing.
So Asmodeus smiles and goes, I thought for someone who works for myself, the Great Deceiver, this seemed perfect for you.
Absolutely. I will use it to accomplish our goals.
Now remember, this is just one of many rewards I can offer you over time.
I will continue to try to earn your favor.
That's all I expect. Because if you were to, I don't know, try to run away, I haven't forgotten that encounter that you were pulled away from me for a minute. Back at that ostentatious house. I keep in mind everything. And I realize that's not your fault, but don't get any ideas that you can get away from me.
Wouldn't dream of it.
No. I wouldn't suggest it.
Palasyr's just going to kind of bow.
Toodaloo. And he fades away.
Palasyr's just going to take a deep breath. Just, well, that was the better of the two encounters I've had today, which is interesting.
So, guys, based on that, you have a good night of actually the Giants. For the fact it's a smaller grouping, they actually know how to throw a pretty good party. Like, everyone's very happy. There's food all around. There's drinks, way too many drinks, in fact. Actually, can all of you make Constitution checks? I want to see something. I want to see who all is getting schmammered. I'll roll for Fweck. I think he's got a +2. Oh, nice. Oh, Fweck does not get completely schmammered this time. Why did you roll
So the
again?
top one's for Palasyr, bottom one's for
Yes.
Red.
All right, so
I don't know how to handle my.
actually, you know, you remember this was near the beginning of the campaign before we started filming. I have a set of rules for when people get inebriated for things.
We get kicked out of the Giants area.
So, all right. Palasyr, you have a pretty good time, but you don't get hammered. You're sipping on your essentially tankard of wine because that's what they gave you. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, like you were excited, and you're like, oh, this is a lot of wine. Rose has herself a good time. She's partying. She's having a great time. Just woo, singing shanties with Fleck, who is more drunk than her, but not schmammered. DJ, on the other hand, no. Okay, it's not terrible. You don't start a fight with anyone.
Sweet.
However, during the night, you apparently get very taken with one of the female giants, and in the middle of the celebrations, you propose to one.
He proposed to a giant because he got too drunk. Nice, Nall.
She politely declines.
Okay.
I actually did roll for that too. I was like, "Is Nall getting married tonight? This could be interesting."
He's as drunk as you are, and accept.
You guys have a great night, though. A lot of fun. Fweck and Rose are singing and get the merry band back together and are playing music. And actually, you guys do a decent enough job, I think, because of the alcohol. You're not feeling as in sync with each other, but you play passable enough. The Giants enjoy it, and in fact, some of them join in with you. Your performance, however, is you are the ultimate hype man, Rose. You are running around, you're getting people hyped, even though your music isn't that great, but they're excited anyways, and they're very happy. There's lots of cheering. You guys actually get tossed in the air a couple times, we're like, woo! And Palasyr is not having any of it, but he's still kind of getting forced into it because it's giants and it's excitable giants.
I've been shaken around by a giant before. I'm just gonna go with it, and we're just gonna survive this, and it's not the worst thing that happened to me.
Overall, you have a very, very good night. You all get back to your rooms that they set you up, and they set you up with some pretty comfortable, these are overstuffed beds. They're stuffed for giants, so these are super large beds to you, massive, 16-foot long beds.
Yeah.
So
we should get one for what?
You could ask her one if you want. After everything you've done, I think they'll probably allow it.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask
maybe it can make up for that terrible poster that Palasyr has.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I will ask for Sweat, and then I will take his bed.
Alrighty, so yeah, you guys have a good night. There are no encounters for the evening because you all have had, I believe, a big enough time involved. Null, you don't get direct contact with your god, but as you're sleeping, you actually can see yourself in your dream laying there, and you have your head laid in her lap, and she's kind of just brushing your mohawk back and just whispering very peacefully to you. And you all have a very good sleep. And you wake up, and yeah, it's the day. Everyone's doing really well. Null, you have a little bit of a hangover.
Okay.
But and you do remember proposing, so you can deal with that how you please. And yeah, it's the day. What are you all doing?
Do we want to leave it here? Do we want to keep going without?
You can go ahead and decide you want to head out on the ship, and that's where we'll call it for this adventure.
Yeah, I think we'll.
Okay.
I think get back on the ship.
All right. You guys.
Did I get the bed for Fweck for on the ship?
You do have a bed for Fweck. Fweck officially has a bed, which Okay, Rose, I will allow you to place Fleck's old bed wherever you want in the ship. You can place in someone's else's room if you want, and you can slowly try to move them out, or you can be like, this is our room now. And Fleck is basically, his new bed takes up pretty much his entire room. So it's like wall-to-wall bed.
That sounds amazing.
Well, and it's possible, too, because remember, it's slide doors, so it's not going to block a doorway or anything. By the way, trying to fit it through the door was impressive.
It's going to be like my old room at the old house that we used to live in out in the country,
God.
Jason, where
Jesus Christ.
you had to somersault. Yeah, you have to somersault in my room
Yes.
because my bed's blocking both
Yes,
doors.
that is 100% what it is like, actually.
I miss those days.
So, yes. That's where it is. You wish good luck to Ulthgar and Muriel, and you see them starting to... He's yelling out orders, and they're starting to kind of break down the buildings and everything. And you notice that there are carts that were behind some of the larger buildings, and they're starting to load some of the walls and everything into these. So,
Move the buildings.
Yep.
So we should probably check with Fleck next time at the beginning of our session to see if he wants to do anything as we're leaving, because these are his people that he hasn't seen.
I will cover that with him as well for that. And we'll get ready to sign off. And when we do, I'll have some quick little notes to share with all of you. But that being said, is there anything you'd like to say before we sign off for the evening?
Glad you guys are enjoying Palasyr's misery.
Hey, I didn't make it completely miserable this time.
It's true. I got to watch Nall get banished and Fleck get old person, which Palasyr did enjoy and would have enjoyed more if the whole situation hadn't been bad.
And Nall, anything you got to say before we sign off?
No.
That was hell.
It was very very.
Did you enjoy your trip to the 9 hells?
I did not. I went through 9 hells in less than a minute. It was not fun.
Rose, anything you got to add to this?
She's got a lot of questions for Palasyr.
Oh, I'm sure she does. And you guys can have your little heart-to-heart next time. Just like...
Yeah, she's smart enough to wait.
Yeah,
the right moment.
All right. Well, on that note, if anyone actually is watching or did watch, thank you. We appreciate it. And whether or not you did, we're still going to keep playing because I'm having a ball with this.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. We are the Dungeoneers of Depravity. You all have a good night. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.